Let's go. Hi, everyone. I'm Jim.
And I'm Chris.
And we are Geeks on Tour.
And we want to thank the APCUG for inviting us to do this presentation on our favorite topic, which is Google Photos. We also taught Google Photos at an APCUG VTC, Virtual Technology Conference, 3 years ago. And that is on the APCUG YouTube. And it is a beginning level, whereas this has our favorite features. So just a little bit about who we are. And as we said, I'm Chris and he's Jim.
Where's that going?
And there we go. We are Geeks on Tour, also known as propeller heads. So that's why we have these funny little hats. Propeller head is another term for geek. And we try, unlike some geeks you may know, to take ourselves too seriously. So these hats are kind of our signature. And we tour the country in our RV, and we do seminars at RV rallies and computer clubs all across the country. So that's why we call ourselves Geeks on Tour. And that's our website, geeksontour.com. We have a weekly YouTube show. We've done 164 episodes. It's about a 45-minute show. And for APCUG members, we encourage you to use those shows for club programs whenever you don't have a speaker. We thoroughly enjoy supporting the computer clubs. On to Google Photos. Google has recognized me as a product expert for Google Photos, and I have written a book. Everything in today's seminar is in that book, and it's available on Amazon. Just make sure you get the second edition. That's what we are working with today, is Mrs. Geek's Guide to Google Photos, second edition. I think we're ready now. So what you're going to learn today, this is for people who are already familiar with Google Photos. We're going to teach you our 7 favorite features. And we love questions. We'll definitely make time at the end for questions, and I might stop a couple times during the presentation and ask if there's any questions. To learn more, sign up for our free newsletter, and you'll get a weekly technology tip, or become a member to have access to everything. And APCUG members do get a discount. I always have to start with a little bit of terminology just to make sure we're on the same page. And a word that I will use a lot is cloud. So cloud is just another term for the internet. It is a generic term. It is not a particular cloud. And if something is in the cloud and you want it on the device in your hand or your computer, you will download. If you have something on your device and you want it in the cloud, you upload. And it's important to get those terms right. Otherwise, when you ask a question, you may get the completely wrong answer. You have to know up from down. So that's how I use them. Secondly, Google account. That's the only thing you need to use Google Photos is a Google account. Other than that, it's free. And the Google account that you sign up with represents your storage location in the cloud. So it's not just going anywhere up to the cloud. Your photos are going up to the cloud into the Google account that you specify, and you better know the username. It'll be an email address, probably Gmail, and your password. Otherwise, you're never going to see your pictures again, because these are private to the account that is holding them. And if you have more than one Google account, be clear which one is holding your memories.
Because it can get really, really confusing.
It can, and cleaning that up can be a real mess if sometimes pictures go to one account and sometimes they go to another. So your Google account is where your photos are stored in the cloud. And last term is photo library. So this is kind of the basic of what Google Photos is all about. your result of uploading your photos is that all of your pictures are in one place. I mean, I'll bet you that a lot of you have been taking pictures for a long time. You have pictures on your computer, you have backups on hard drives. I even have lots of pictures that I at one time stored on CDs and DVDs. And then, of course, all the pictures I take today are on my phone. The number one purpose of Google Photos is to gather all of those photos from every device, every source where you have digital photos, or if they're in a paper form, you take a picture of them and make them digital. So gather all your pictures in one place. If you choose the size called high quality, they will be compressed just a little bit. Google adds a compression and then gives you unlimited storage for free. So that is all your photos, and I call it the library. And notice they're just in one giant stream by date. So
and don't forget about the videos, because it's not just photos, it's videos too, and the compression there is 1080p.
1080p. It'll upload up to 1080p and up to 16 megapixels of your photos, but it just adds a little bit of a compression. But notice that when it takes the photos from the folders on your computer, it takes them out of the folders so that they can be mingled with all your other photos and arranged by date. Okay. So our favorite feature number one is editing, making your pictures look better. Why settle for pictures that are dark or crooked or just not as pretty as they should be when it just takes a couple of clicks or taps? And this is covered in the book in chapter 8. Tells you all about video editing. And let's play this little video here. This is one of our tutorial videos.
489?
Yep. So we've been taking lots of photos. We are in the RV on the road, and I like to just snap a picture out the window. On the left is what my camera captured, but on the right is the picture I wanted, and it just takes a couple of clicks in Google Photos to make that difference. Let me show you how. Here is the photo, and I'm just using Google Photos on the computer, but it works exactly the same on the phone. You have the same options. This is the edit button. I click that, and the first thing I want to do is crop. Want that nasty wall in the foreground, so the cropping tool is that one, and I'll just drag a corner up until I have the picture outlined that I want. And maybe it's a little crooked. There's no straight lines in this picture to check it against, but I think that makes the horizon a little straighter. So I'm done with the crop and rotate. Now I want to adjust the colors a little bit. I always try auto, and that does the colors pretty good, but I also want a little bit of pop. So I'm going to go into the adjustments. I'm going to drag the pop over, and I'm done. There is the picture I wanted, as opposed to the picture I took. Okay, so that's also an example of our tutorial videos. But now let me do a little bit of it live. And I want to demonstrate first on my Android phone. Got that. Okay.
Looks good.
So this is my Android phone. I'll open up Google Photos, and I want to search for some photos that I've already lined up for this exercise. So edit, and I see class edit samples, an album full of photos. So this first photo, what's wrong?
It looks dark.
And how often does that happen? You take a picture,
you might
and
just throw it away.
But all you have to do, right on the phone, open the picture, tap the edit button, tap auto, and boom, save, and your picture is much, much better. Next one, here is a really good example. Edit button, and all I'm going to do is an auto correct, and I would have just thrown that picture away, but with the one tap right on the phone, it's a nice picture. Now, what's wrong with this picture?
It's a little crooked. All the water's going to run right off the flat earth.
Press the edit button, and this time I'm going to use a different tool.
Faster.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm going to use this third button over down at the bottom. That is for crop and rotate. And then there's this 0 point here. I just touch on the 0 point and I drag, and a grid appears. I can line up the horizon, and then I'm done, and I save. Now I want to make a real point of how Google Photos is cross-platform. So I'm going to put my Android away for a minute, and I'm going to get out my iPad. Now this is my iPad, so I have it set up. That's a little bright, isn't it? Okay, so I have Google Photos on here pointing to my same Google account in the cloud. So I can open that up, and I can search for the same album, class edit samples. And we should even see that the corrections, the edits that I've just made on the Android will even show up once it gets there. Come on. This is cloud-based. So what's it doing? It's trying to find the pictures.
And there's a good chance that we're using a lot of bandwidth here to use just for this production.
All right.
Kick it.
Come on. Let me, sometimes even trying over does it quicker. Oh, now that time I didn't choose the album. I just searched for edit. So class edit samples. There we go. And yes, notice that the deer is bright, this is bright, and the ocean is flat. So that this should point out to you that we are not looking at pictures on the device. We're looking at pictures in the cloud. All right, so see this picture? This is great. When you travel by RV, you rarely get a photo of your RV on the road. But these nice people took a picture of us when they were following behind. But I don't want their windshield wipers and all that. So I'm going to go into edit, and I'm going to crop. And that's all there is to it. Done and save.
Good picture.
Much better picture. And this next example needs several things. When you travel like we do, I like to just snap pictures out the windshield. Well, you often end up with a photo like this, crooked and kind of fuzzy, and
maybe some bugs on it.
Maybe some bugs in the windshield, yeah. So I go into edit, and number one, I need to crop and straighten. So I just drag over, and cropping can, in the previous example, the cropping was to get rid of other things in the picture. I'm going to crop on this one just to have a better composition. If you know photography, you've probably heard of the rule of thirds, which says to put the main subject of the picture in at the crosshairs of a third of the frame. So that makes for a better picture. And I'm done with crop and rotate. Now I'll always try an auto, but that hasn't done enough.
It hasn't done much.
Hasn't done much, and it's still a little bit. There we go. I just changed the brightness of the camera here. and I want to go in and do something called pop. Now, if on the video, pop was in a better place. Now, pop is underneath lighting. So light and color, you can just make it lighter or darker, more color or less, but see these little arrows over here? Lots of options under both light and color. And under light, the bottom option, oops, I didn't want to change that exposure. The bottom option is pop. If I drag pop over, the further over I drag it, just the more definition.
Ooh, that looks good.
The more definition the photo gets. And yeah, I think that's good. So now I have to close the light options and then save. Much better picture. All right, are you ready? So now, completely cross-platform. I've shown you Android, I've shown you iOS. Now we're going to go to the computer, which Jim is in front of his computer.
Okay, let's see. There's my Google Photos.
Okay, but these are not my pictures. This is not my library. This is his library. So how can you see my library of photos, Jim?
Well, I need to go up to my Google account, and you see my little face up there, and just tap on that. Now, both Chris and I use this computer. It's our seminar computer, so we've added her account in there. So I just want to make sure that I sign in as her account. And next. So now, if you notice, her little face is up there at the top right.
And now he can use search and get the same edit sample album that I've made.
Edit class examples.
And I want you to find the one of us at the beach. Yes, right after. So you can see all the adjustments that I've made are showing. He can open that one. And here, notice our faces are in the shadow, but I can't just lighten the whole picture. So click on Edit. But watch what happens when he clicks Auto. So it did not wash out the sky, but it did lighten our faces. So that's pretty cool.
That's way cool.
And you just click Done. And the next one I want you to do is the white sands.
Oh, just go back here then. Oh, it's right there.
Oh, that looks like it's already been fixed. All right, so this looks like it's already been fixed to me. So let's go into Edit, and just to check, click on the three-dot menu. Nope, it hasn't. Okay.
Oops.
One question everybody asks: after I've edited it, can I ever get back to the original? Yes, you can undo your edits. It saves your edits right on the photo, so you only have one photo, but you can always undo your edits to get back to your original. Okay, so this is white sands in New Mexico, and I just think the sand should be, I remember it being whiter. It's kind of a muddy picture, so just click on Auto. That adjusts the colors and it makes the sand whiter. But notice there are other ones too. If I want it even more whiter, it looks like that Metro one might. So you can just keep trying these different filters until you get the look that you like. But I almost always, yeah, if you like black and white, I almost always
a lot of
Auto.
choices. Ooh, that's kind of cool.
The black and white is kind of cool on that one. All right. Pick the one you like and click Done.
Done.
And then our favorite picture to edit, this one of Mystic Seaport. So this is another one. I just snapped the picture going out the window. Make it better, Jim.
Okay, first thing I'm going to do is straighten it. So I go to my edits there, and I crop and rotate, and I can just grab the grab the cursor there and straighten it up. While I'm in here, I'm going to get rid of that railing, and I'm probably going to focus more on the tall ship there. That looks better, and I'll use the rule of thirds to put that mast right in the third. Okay, I'm done with that part. Now I'm going to try an auto. I always try those fixes after I've done the crops and the rotates, because it'll just work on the part of the picture that you're working with and not other pieces. So that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Certainly looks a lot better than it did. What do you want?
It does. And how can you see what it did look like? Notice in the picture it says click and hold to compare.
Okay, so I'll just hold down, click.
That was what it originally looked like, and then you let go and you see. But try a pop.
All right.
Under the adjustments.
Under the adjustments.
And on the computer, pop is a separate slider.
I can bring that over here, and it really does brings out the distinctions in the picture. And if that's good enough for you, you can go done.
Okay. And that's it for the computer. Now, how am I doing with time? I just have to show you Snapseed, though. I have to. It's just too cool. So those, you can do all of the basic edits that you're accustomed to doing with photos in using Google Photos. But what if you want something a little bit more? Well, Google makes another photo editing app called Snapseed, and you can get to it. It's free, so just go to your App Store or your Play Store and install it, and then you can get to it. And I'm just going to show you one, and it's this New York City skyline picture. So I could make it better in Google Photos, but there's a couple things in Snapseed that'll make it really good. I'm just going to tap the three-dot menu, edit in, and whatever other editors you have on your phone will show up. I'm choosing Snapseed. And first I want to crop it. It has the same general tools that all photo editors have. I'm leaving it at a 16:9 ratio. And now I want to use HDR. HDR will bring out the detail in the shadows. And it's right there. These are all the tools that Snapseed offers. HDR Scape. And notice how it made it more dramatic, and it brought out the detail in the shadow. One more thing. Notice how this was a panorama, and the tall building on the right looks like it's kind of leaning.
Parallax distortion.
Yeah, so I'm saving that one, and I'm going to a tool called Perspective. And look how easy this is. All I have to do is drag down. Notice how it's changing the whole perspective. I just drag down until that building on the right looks straight, and there we go. Then I tap done, and I'm back to Google Photos, and it has been put into a folder in Google Photos, and that's what it looks like now. Okay. Back to our slideshow to see where that was just feature one. Now that was the most. I'm not going to spend that much time on the other 6. Okay.
Thank you.
But editing, that I use it every single day. I am never satisfied with the picture that I took. I just use a couple of taps, make it better on my Android or my iPad or my computer. Next is, since all of my photos are in one place, I can search them all. What's Google known for? Where did Google get their search? Search. Now they can even search by what their computers see in an image. And this is in the book on page 69. So I'm going to demonstrate it just on, go to the next slide. Yeah. How you use search is at the top of any Google Photos screen, there's just a search box. Type what you're looking for and click search. But it's surprising what all you can look for. So I'm back on my Android phone, and notice right at the top here, it says search. So I can tap there and I can type kayak in La Jolla.
You can tell she's tested this to make sure it works.
And how does it do that? And so fast. Did you notice how fast that was? And where are these pictures? Are they on the phone?
No, they're in the cloud.
They're in the cloud. And I guarantee you, yes, indeed, that was us kayaking in La Jolla. And this was in 2007. So this was before
smartphones.
Before smartphones, before the GPS, but it somehow figured it out approximately where we were.
And it was taken with a camera that doesn't have a GPS in it, too.
Right. It was taken with my Canon Digital Rebel. So it recognized something in either that photo or the photos taken the same day that told it was in La Jolla, or it was actually in the description. I might have, nope, there's nothing that says La Jolla in the description. There is the word kayak in the file name. Okay, something a little more straightforward. We've been to Mount Rushmore a few times in our travels. So I'm just going to type Rushmore and search. And sure enough.
There I am.
Yep.
Boy.
Now, and that was taken with a Motorola, with a smartphone. So it did know the geographic latitude and longitude. But ones that when we were first there in 2004, we didn't have a smartphone in 2004. I'll bet you didn't either. But Google Photos is learning. This is what's called machine learning or artificial intelligence, what things look like. And it knows that this looks like Mount Rushmore. So it knows how to do that. But there's even more fun stuff like beer.
I like beer.
So I can search for beer, and it does. It shows us every picture where there is either a bottle or a glass of beer
that it thinks is beer.
Picture. That it thinks is, yeah, it's not always right. Sometimes it has some it has some funny results. But if we were wondering, so we were in New Zealand a couple months ago, and we went to a brewery. If I What was the name of that brewery?
I always know the name of the brewery.
Well, I can even
But
ask,
I'll keep you in the dark.
I can even ask for beer in New Zealand.
She hasn't tried this one before. But.
And there it is. And it was Monteith's.
Monteith's Brewery.
Monteith's Brewery.
Good time.
All right. So that's search. And I don't think I could live without it anymore. I am looking for pictures. You know, I can even go back to our wedding. And it pulls up anything that looks like a wedding. And it will even, okay, ours did not look like a wedding.
We had an unconventional wedding.
So therefore, I can search for the date. When was that, Jim?
Oh, now she's putting me on the spot. But it's easy because it was 4th of July.
1998.
Oh, well, that's the tough part.
And it takes me right to July 4th, 1998.
And look at those silly hats we were wearing.
And we even wore hats like this back then when we got married.
Geeks.
We got married in July 4th in Fort Lauderdale. It was hot. That's not the typical wedding attire. Okay, that's it for search.
All right. Shared libraries.
Shared library. So before I start this, I want Jim to take a picture of me with his phone.
All right. So get to my camera here. Take a picture of Chris.
And something that, so they can make sure that it was just taken right now.
All right. Well,
Sign behind
get
me.
the sign behind you.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
Okay.
Done.
And just hold that thought. What this is, shared library. Your library of photos is private to you for your eyes only, but you can share your library with one partner and give them access to your entire library of photos. Then there is an extra setting to automatically copy pictures of you from your partner's account to yours. This is in the book in page 105 and 106. So how Jim and I use this, I share my entire library with him. He shares his entire library with me. Then there's an extra little checkbox that says any pictures that Jim takes of me are automatically copied to my library, and any pictures I take of him are automatically copied to his. Whenever I view his library, if I see a photo I want, I can click the Save button to add to library. So let's see what that looks like. And then I think after this one, I'll take a minute for questions. So I'm back on my Android phone here, although I could do it with my iOS devices or with my computer. So there was a little video that Jim took a couple days, yesterday, I think, here at the rally, the RV rally where we are. Oh, and it's not, they've moved it. See, it's now under sharing. It used to be under the 3-line menu. It's now under sharing.
They move things around all the time. Just
Yeah.
keep you on your toes, Chris.
So here, because we have shared our libraries with each other, I click on sharing, and there are Jim's photos right there. So it doesn't put them all, and here's the photo that he just took of me. And somewhere here is the video. So I am seeing his entire library of photos, thousands and thousands of photos. But this little video that we're at an RV rally right now.
We're having fun.
It's always fun, and these people started dancing. This is his video in his library, but I might want to make a little movie of this rally, and I want that video. When I tap save, it copies it from his library to mine. So that's how that works. But notice I did not copy the picture that he took of me, and yet there it is in my library, because that was automatic. And
cool.
It really, I mean, I love, oh, gee, he took a pretty nice picture of me, and I don't have to ask him to send it to me. I don't even have to look at his library and copy it. It's there.
And now she can use it for whatever. She could even use that for a Facebook profile shot.
So how about it, John? Are there any questions?
Yeah, somebody want to know, can you just share only one way?
Oh, sure. Yes. I mean, I shared my library with him. We could have stopped there. But I also wanted him to share with me.
Yeah.
So he did the same process. It's 2 steps. You know, I have to share, and then he has to accept. Kind of like being a friend.
Sounds good there. Somebody else that wanted to know whether this was the same as partnering.
It is sometimes called partner, yes. Shared library or partner.
Good. All right, moving on.
Okay. Number 4 of our 7 favorite features is a shared photo album. And this is in the book in chapter 10. This is a way to set up an album that everyone in a group can add to. So, for example, when we're here at the RV rallies, there's a bunch of people, they're all taking pictures. We want an easy way to gather them all in one place. And once you've done that and you look at the album, then you will see the name of the person who took it right in the corner.
You want that?
Yeah, I want that.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not going to demo anything on here. This is just pretty this is a way to set up an album that everybody in a group can add to. So it's great for parties, weddings, group trips, and when people add their pictures, you will see their name in the, and how you do this, just the next slide, is it's called collaboration. So when you make an album, and that was covered in, that's a basic feature of Google Photos, is making albums. When you have an album, all you have to do is go into the sharing options, find collaborate, and turn it on. Now, when you share it with other people, and I do that just by copying that link to share and giving it to whoever I want. And then they can add. Favorite feature number 5, making movies. It is just drop dead easy to make. This isn't for, you know, an hour-long video of your whole summer's vacation. This is just to make an interesting way to present a handful of pictures and video clips. And for this, we have one of our little tutorial videos.
Hi, this is Chris Guld with Geeks on Tour, and I want to show you one of my favorite things about Google Photos. I can make little movies so easy. You just open up the Google Photos app, and here are all of my pictures. I happen to have gone to a beautiful park the other day, and I want to make a movie of the pictures and video clips that I took. I just long press on the first one that I want, and notice the check mark. Now I can just tap on multiple pictures and little video clips. And every time I tap on one, it gets selected and it will be included in my movie. I now have 12 pieces selected, both photos and video clips. All I do now is tap on the little plus and tell Google Photos, make me a movie. And it takes those 12 pieces, adds music. All I have to do is tap save. And I now have a beautiful little movie that I can send to friends, share on Facebook. Is that quick and easy and sweet, or what? Hi, this is Chris.
One thing to know about those movies is it only works on mobile devices. That is one thing that you cannot do on the computer.
Yeah. Now, the new Chromebooks, if you have a touchscreen Chromebook that will run the Play Store apps, it'll work on the big screen of a Chromebook, and that really is pretty cool. And you can also, what was the other thing? You can, oh, I forgot.
Yeah, we love Chromebooks, and the fact that most Chromebooks can run Android apps.
Right.
So as far as Google Photos is concerned,
Snapseed editing on that big screen makes it so much easier.
Oh, you're right. That's the other thing. I don't think I mentioned that. Snapseed is a mobile device only app. So another great use for a Chromebook. Favorite feature number 6, Google Lens for reading business cards. So in addition to keeping my lifetime of photo memories, I can also snap photos of business cards given to me. I don't know about you, but I've tried every different system possible to keep track of business cards I get from people, and I really like this one. And then with the Lens button, you can even read what the contents of the business card. So let me show you what I mean. First, let me show you where I keep my business cards. So I don't want my business cards showing up with my photos. So I put them I archive them and then put them in an album.
Or you put them in an album and then archive
Whichever. So archive just means it's just a separate area where you put things that you don't want showing up in your main library photo stream. But with an album, and I can just type BUS and I should see the business cards album. So and I've just taken a photo of them. So there's a bunch of business cards I've been collecting. And here I have a new business card. So let me just show you. I'm going to take a picture of it. Now I'm going to look at that picture, not using the gallery on the Android phone or the Apple Photos. What am I going to use?
Google Photos.
Google Photos. And there is that business card. Now, because I was facing straight down, it didn't know which way was up. So I'm first going to edit it and rotate it. But here's the special feature. This third button over, the square with the dot in the middle, is called Google Lens. And when you tap it, it starts studying, oh, come on. It starts studying the picture in front of it. And notice how things are highlighted? So it has OCR'd, if you will, the email address, the website on the business card, the phone number, and I could add him as a contact on my phone if I wanted to. But I don't even want to. I just want to keep my business cards in Google Photos. I can find them there, and then if I wanted to call him, I would just tap the call right there from Google Photos.
You don't have to go anywhere else.
Yep. All right, I think we're ready for number 7. And then questions.
Number 7.
Number 7.
Navigate to a photo's location. This is so handy, especially for travelers, but for a lot of different reasons.
And we'll play one of our little videos for that too. Hi, this is Chris Guld with Geeks on Tour, and this quick video is to show you how you can navigate to a photo. If you are using both Google Photos and Google Maps, you can just take a photo of a location and then you can navigate there. So we travel a lot by RV, and whenever we stop at a campground, I take a picture of our camp spot. Now, when we've gone away out to dinner or to the grocery store, I know that I can get back there by tapping on the eye. And then you see the marker of where it is. You tap the marker and you now are in Google Maps at that marker and you tap directions. I've also used this to have somebody else come to our campsite. Rather than give them specific directions, just send them the picture. Tell them if they're using Google Photos and Google Maps, they can open the picture in Google Photos, tap the eye, tap the location, and then navigate there. Now, if you were trying to follow along, one thing that has changed.
So we need to make a new video.
It's a pretty simple change, but if you're looking for the eye, it ain't there because they wanted to put another button in its place. But all you do to see the underlying is just a swipe up. So if I want to know where this picture was taken, I just swipe up on the screen. Now on the computer there is still an eye, but you're going to, if you want to navigate, you're going to be using a phone. So you swipe up and then there's the map. It'll take you to Google Maps and you can navigate. That was, I actually think I have a summary slide, do I?
Okay.
Yep. 7 favorite features. Editing right on your phone or tablet or computer. Same set of pictures. Number 2, searching by the content of your photos. Number 3, shared libraries with a partner. Number 4, shared albums with collaboration for groups. Number 5, make movies. Number 6, Google Lens to read business cards. It can do a lot of other things too.
Oh yeah, it'll even recognize plants and
Yeah, it'll tell you, say, what is that flower? You can take a picture of it, use Google Lens, and if it knows, it'll tell you.
or
And,
landmarks,
yeah,
things like that.
or books.
And you can navigate to a photo.
And now we're ready for questions, if there are any.
Yeah, we just got a couple of minutes. One question that is a good question because people need to understand how things connect together. You showed us and talked to us about all of these uploading of pictures from the camera that you take. What do you do if somebody sends you a text with a picture on it?
Okay, very good. The picture that comes with the text just needs to be separated from the text and saved to your device. And usually, if you open the text on your phone, usually you can just long press on the picture or tap to open the picture, and somewhere on the screen there will be a menu and options to save to your device. Once it's saved to your device, Google Photos will see it.
And automatically it's gone. It's up there. Yeah.
On an iPhone, yes, absolutely. On an Android, it's probably saved to a separate folder, and you just need to tell your Google Photos that you want that folder included.
Yeah,
And
I must have done that because any picture I take immediately, it's up in the cloud.
Yep.
Another question, a quick one. You're talking about the video that you can make only on the phone, that you can add the music to and combine that. Can you choose your own music, or do they provide the music?
Yes. So,
Both. You
Okay.
can't choose your own music, but they do provide quite a few different genres, and you might find something on there that you like.
and it just picks one for you. If you don't
And-
like it, you can pick another,
Yeah.
or you can add your own.
And they're
Right.
royalty free, and they're not copyrighted. They're free to use. If you have your own music, there might be some issues depending on where you want to use it.
Good. You said it can only be created on the phone, but I would assume that once it's created on the phone, you could see it on the your laptop computer.
Right. It creates a standard MP4 file format, so it's a regular video. Now you can still use photo editing and movie creation software on your computer using the same files. It's just that Google Photos puts it right in there and makes it so easy to do.
Very easy, very easy. All right. You did make one person made a comment about your map and finding your way back to your camp spot. They said they take their picture of their car in a big, huge parking lot and be able to find where they parked the car.
Sure, that works. There have been some special apps that'll do the same thing. But yeah,
Lots of ways of doing
lots
all
of
of
ways
that
to
stuff.
do all this
but
stuff, and there's an app for everything.
I
But-
like when you have two purposes. So I want a picture of our rig at that camp spot anyway.
Good.
Right.
Can you put up your slide as we finish up the contact information?
Okay.
I think
that
it's
was.
Just this one?
yeah, just that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody said repeat the book on the info. Info on the book.
Oh, okay. It's, well, if you just go to Amazon and search for a book on Google Photos, mine's what comes up, but here it is, Mrs. Geek's Guide to Google Photos, 2nd edition. Oh, and if you become a member of Geeks on Tour, you get the ebook, you get the PDF. It's included with membership.
Good. And just to tell everybody, if you watch the movie in between the two sessions, you can get some information on a special deal that Geeks on Tour is offering.